He was abandoned by his parents when he was just a baby. One day, he received a strange book left by his grandmother, and out of nowhere, a god appeared. Little did he know that he would be summoning new gods every day, becoming the summoning god. Nanju's this kid whose parents basically bailed on him since day one, so he was raised by his grandma. She was some kind of feng shui master. She always said it was like some late-night fortune-telling, reading people's destinies. But let's be real, that's all just voodoo nonsense. He treats it like some made-up fantasy from a crazy old lady. But hey, someone's gotta carry on this legacy, right? And guess who that someone is? Yep, Nanju, the one unemployed loser in the family who's forced into following in grandma's footsteps. When he gets old and starts crocheting, he's totally gonna get what being a senile old coot is all about. So, after he gets home, Nanju gets these feng shui books from Situ Zhang, who's pushing him to understand his grandma's legacy and, pay the bills. He starts messing with grandma's stuff and finds a diary. Maybe he'll find some crochet tutorials in there too. He starts flipping through the diary, but it's all in Chinese. He can't understand squat. So, he jokes around, acting like he's some master of ancient magic. He waves his hands and goes, "Powerball jackpot, right now." Suddenly, there's this bright light. The calendar on the wall starts flipping like it's caught in a tornado and lands on 2019. And from this light pops out, well, a baby. The baby introduces himself as Xionian, one of the calendar gods. This tiny god in front of him explains that just like his grandma, Nanju is now a lie she chosen by the weird COVID-19 calendar. What the hell is going on? And what's his grandma got to do with this? Maybe it's all just a messed up dream and his grandma's senility is catching. But it's hard to deny when he wakes up in the morning and that weird baby god is still chilling in his house. So what's a lie she anyway? And how's some clueless, talentless guy who doesn't believe in any of this supposed to make a difference? Being unemployed sucks, man. The little god explains he's here to help whenever Nanju needs it. And being a lie she isn't just about calling good luck and bad luck, he also must banish evil spirits. Evil spirits? And how do you banish a baby from your own house? Xionian says these spirits spring from and are attracted to human emotions. They're everywhere, but only a lie she can see them. Nanju heads out to meet Situ Zhang and check on a client, but he notices something off. The client's surrounded by a bunch of evil spirits. He starts realizing the baby wasn't lying and warns the client to be careful later that night. The lie she shows up at the construction site to help and suddenly gets swarmed by a huge number of spirits. He calls on Xionian, and the god uses the power of rivers and seas to smack those spirits around. Nanju sees the god doing his thing and thinks, okay, that was pretty quick. Out of nowhere, some spirits try to attack him directly. He ends up summoning a shield somehow. No clue how he pulled that off, and it protects him. The problem is, the shield's just not strong enough against that many evil spirits. Things get worse when Xionian notices he's running low on juice. He's confused at first, but then he gets it. Meanwhile, Nanju's got no idea what's happening. Why is Xionian losing power? And why is he glowing like he's about to vanish? Xionian explains that it's 11 p.m. His shift's over and he doesn't do overtime. He tells Nanju to run for it and then disappears. The spirits see their opening. Millions of them against one unemployed guy. So much for fair labor laws. The spirits charge again, but a magic circle appears out of nowhere and blocks them with fire. Nanju's completely lost, but he notices a new god has just shown up for the next shift. He recognizes the new god as Chuxi and feels hopeful again. But just when his guard's down, something grabs his foot. So these must be the boogeymen his grandma warned him about. He tries fighting them off, totally useless, until a dog shows up to protect him. The new god's basically the leader of some cosmic canine patrol. The creature attacks again, and the god moves in, fast as the wind, taking out the demons with precision. The god walks toward him, and suddenly Nanju feels kinda sick. He notices some strange red energy, but ignores it because Chuxi tells him to get lost. No need to say that twice. Nanju heads home thinking things ended well. The problem is, Chuxi starts attacking again. Nanju's got no strength to defend himself, and the god leaves him as if he's nothing. Man, that diary should have come with a "How to Protect Yourself from Unpredictable Gods" guide. The lie she has no clue what's going on and calls out for Xionian. The little god tries to dodge his questions, but Nanju wants to know why on earth there's a god in his house who can't control himself and why he attacked him. Xionian explains that Lord Chuxi is originally super nice and good-humored, but over time, he gets possessed by evil energy. The more he kills, the more unstable his emotions become. He's basically dangerous and lethal, like someone having the worst PM's meltdown ever. But what can Nanju do? The little god refuses to answer and starts fading away. Nanju kinda wants to vanish into thin air too. Since no one's giving him answers, he decides to go after them himself. The lie, she grabs a blade and heads off to face the god in his house. If the god attacks again, this time he'll be ready. But he only finds a broken window. The next day, Nanju wakes up, still no sign of Chuxi. He hears someone knocking on the door and grabs a knife to protect himself. Maybe it's Chuxi. Though if the god didn't bother opening the door when he left and just broke a window, why would he politely knock now? Instead, he finds two neighborhood kids and Aunt Wang, who are here for a New Year's dinner. Nanju realizes he forgot about it. Give the lie she a break. He's been too worried about not ending up chopped into tiny pieces by a hormonally unstable god. He tries to cheer the kids up and says bye. After closing the door, he looks to the side and sees the god staring at him. Nanju tries to run and tells the god to wait at home while he goes to the store. Of course, the god doesn't listen. He's a god. Not even at the supermarket can Nanju escape him. Chuxi steps out of the market and senses some evil energy coming from somewhere, then heads into an alley. Nanju follows and finds Jae-hun on the ground crying. He tries to comfort him and take him to dinner. Even as an unemployed guy, he never gets a day off. Nanju tries to focus on the dinner and the people around him. Situjang takes the chance to pull Nanju aside to the terrace, talk, and hand him some cash for helping that man last night. Nanju gets distracted when he hears noises in his house. He checks and finds the kid surrounded by evil spirits. The kid's murmuring about his parents, feeling abandoned, and Nanju remembers his own childhood. He calls out for Jae-hun, but is attacked by the swirling energies. The god appears by his side and wipes them out. The child faints and falls into a deep sleep. Back in Nanju's day, he was abandoned and didn't die. Chuxi says the kid will be okay, but advises Nanju to erase everyone's memories so they won't remember the spirits. The lie, she would rather erase his own memory so he can go back to just being a normal, unemployed dude. Nanju doesn't know how, but Chuxi teaches him. Nanju's moved and calls Jae-hun's home. He pretends to be a friend of the parents and promises they'll be back soon. Nanju wakes up to an explosion and bolts out of the house. What the heck just happened? He looks back and sees fireworks getting shot at him by some kid. The guy can't even sleep anymore without a god showing up and yanking him out. How's he supposed to protect the world if he can't even get a decent night's sleep? The little god introduces himself as Danayan. He explains that these fireworks only hurt and eliminate evil entities. Lie, she has lunch with his family, and then Situjang shows up to take him to a new client. This time, the client is the owner of the Ru Ware Museum. Danayan explains that the artifacts there are ancient and super valuable. Situjang introduces Nanju to the old director of the place. But suddenly the lights go out and the ground starts shaking. Danayan realizes this isn't just some regular earthquake and sets off his fireworks. The director yells at him for almost breaking the artifacts. Lie, she explains that the fireworks don't damage objects. The man says that for about a week, the museum's pieces have been getting wrecked, and nobody's figured out how. Danayan looks at one of the fragments and senses evil forces. He tells Nanju about the suspicious timing of these incidents and how the museum itself has formed a four-directional matrix. Lie, she stands guard at night with Danayan. The little god casts spells on the artifacts to shield them from evil energy. Nanju finds a cat that morphs into this big, chubby guy who calls himself Sui Sui Ping and an evil spirit. Well, that explains the shaking floor in the museum. He's huge enough to cause it. Danayan attacks him with fireworks, but the chubby dude won't back down and tries to blast Nanju with his powers. Lie, she defends himself with protective barriers. Ping and threatens to bust those shields apart, which wouldn't be hard, considering how hefty he is. Danayan strikes back, but gets knocked down. The evil spirit brags that the matrix is almost complete and taunts the little god. Danayan fires off fireworks in every direction, destroying the protective spells on the artifacts. Ping and breaks the last enchanted object and flies off into the sky. The matrix is finally activated. It's only a matter of time before he claims the legendary treasure. A black dragon charges at the spirit. Lie, she summons the calendar diary, trapping the dragon inside the book. The chubby spirit fails. With the matrix active, treasures appear and fall from the sky. The Almanarch Emperor's notebook, the scroll that Lie, she recognizes as belonging to Chuxi, and finally, the black dragon horn. Nanju grabs the horn, and it starts glowing. Chuxi starts explaining that what Nanju's holding is the black dragon sword. It wasn't just any old sword, it was a relic of the Yellow Emperor. That guy was basically an ancient superhero, riding a black dragon and beating down evil spirits in all four corners of the Matrix. But Nanju's already zoned out halfway through. To him, it all sounds over the top. Emperor? Dragon. Evil spirit? That's textbook stuff, not real life. So Nanju asks about the Emperor's calendar. That's when he finds out that not even Chuxi, who acts all wise and godly, can translate the weird characters in there. For a second, Nanju almost feels smart. After all, he can recognize a few words. It's kinda like he skimmed Wikipedia before everyone else. The god says those characters sound like some long-lost spell. A lost spell? The only one lost around here is Nanju, not the spells. Nanju shows the god the scroll with his picture on it. So this god used to be a hero back in the day, and now he's, well, defective and illiterate. Chuxi can't remember anything. Nanju leaves with the god to visit the Lantern Festival and goes looking for Xuanzio, the goddess of that festival. She pops up behind them, catching Chuxi's attention. Another kid god. Nanju watches, totally ready for anything. If a clown god with a bunch of balloons showed up next, he'd just shrug and ask who's next in line. Out of nowhere, Chuxi gets infected by that evil energy again and is possessed by the spirit of a child. Nanju freaks out about the possession, but Xuanzio explains that the little evil spirit will be purified pretty quickly. To distract the kid, they write wishes on a lantern and let it float up into the sky. Nanju's wish pretty much came true already, getting to hear the big tough god babbling goo goo da da. But Nanju remembers his grandma and that old wish he'd made, hoping to keep her around forever. Chuxi shivers next to him and snaps back to normal. As they wander around the festival, Nanju runs into an old lady who asks for help. He helped kids, now old folks. He's basically ready to join some kind of Three Musketeers club. She follows the old lady to a house where her grandson is. Once inside, Nanju notices dust on the furniture and everything packed up, like no one really lives there. His own place is worse, but at least he lives in it. The old lady gives him a box and asks him to deliver it to her son. Great, new role unlocked, Shi the mailman. He's caught off guard when a couple bursts in yelling at the top of their lungs. They introduce themselves as the kid's parents. The kid's dad thinks Nanju and the gods kidnapped his son and lunges at the Shi, but Chuxi stops him. Fantastic. Now he's getting accused of kidnapping. Nanju realizes the dad can't see the old lady standing right beside him and quickly gives the box the grandma asked him to deliver. The dad tosses it to the floor. As if that weren't enough, maybe this guy got possessed by a bratty child spirit too. When he sees what's in the box, the man picks it up and reads it carefully. Nanju watches the old lady's spirit run her hand through her son's hair. The parents start crying, remembering all the things they didn't do while the mother was still alive. The guy never made time for his mom when she was living, always shoved her aside. Nanju figures he totally deserves to be unemployed, because he's done the same in his life. In the end, the old lady's wish was simple. Bring the family together for a happy dinner. No revenge, no hauntings. Just love and being there for each other. Nanju, as always, does his part, but he's already thinking he deserves at least a thanks for playing ribbon. He goes back home, and the next day he meets another god. Huazao's clearly out of shape. Sure, he's a god, but he looks more like some old uncle after a backyard BBQ, trying to explain how the world works. Nanju looks at him and wonders if it's even safe to count on this god for anything. The flower festival might have sounded pretty by name, but nobody remembers it. Nanju didn't even know it existed. Huazao explains that without people's faith, he's basically a faded memory. That's sad. But also kinda funny. A god lost to time. Sounds a lot like Nanju's own life. No purpose, no direction. No wonder Huazao's weak. Who cares about a flower festival when everyone's more worried about fast Wi-Fi and 10-minute deliveries? Nanju barely remembers what he ate this morning, let alone some old festival. Huazao notices a blind woman hugging a white thorn plant and offering one of its leaves. Nanju thinks she's lost until he hears Situzhang call out to her, "A Ning." This is unbelievable. She's blind, but walks around like she knows exactly where she's going. Huazao notices evil spirits around Situzhang and casts a spell to chase him away. They follow the guy everywhere, but find no sign of any spirit actually haunting him. Nanju figures the spirit came from somewhere else and tells the god to watch a Ning. He stands there in the street staring at the woman. But she's blind, so she doesn't even notice. That makes Nanju think maybe being blind wouldn't be so bad after all. At least you wouldn't have to deal with gods staring at you like some glitchy video game character. Huazao finds the woman in the street getting attacked by evil spirits and defends her with a protective shield. He gives her an enchanted bouquet and says goodbye. The god goes looking for Nanju, who's hanging out with Situzhang at his place, and they head out to find a Ning. Nanju sees a burst of energy at the woman's house, and they find her passed out. Surrounded by evil spirits is a possessed dog. Local animal control would lose its mind over this. Huazao tries to protect Ning with that magic shield that might as well be made from cheap cardboard. Is it effective? Hey, sorta. At least it's doing its job, stopping everyone from dying right this second. But he needs more power, like a SCP. Shi summons his shields, but they're no good. He decides to call on the Black Dragon Bone Sword. Nanju repeats the words from the diary of some Chinese dork and zaps the spirit with the spell. Huazao explains that the dog is sick and the spirits are feeding off its will to protect Ning. The god, out of sympathy, casts a spell on Ning while she sleeps so she can see her dog one last time and say goodbye. And that's Huasao's good deed for the day, while Nanju's still just Nanju. No girlfriend, no job, same old story. Nanju's starting to get used to these constant godly invasions. But seriously, how is it possible that every single day there's a new god knocking on his door? He's already thinking about making a waitlist. Oh, you're the god of tomato festivals. Cool, shoot me an email. I'll let you know when there's a vacancy. And of course, none of them pay for room and board, which is a total ripoff. Imagine if he charged them. Nanju's little god B&B, complete with coffee and cookies. Now that would be profitable. But it looks like hospitality isn't their strong suit. Each one shows up with some random excuse. Oh, I just stopped by for a quick coffee. Except that coffee break never ends and his place keeps getting more cramped. The new god introduces himself as Hanshi, deity of the Hanshi festival. He's the type of god who loves long, boring explanations. When he says he's the divinity of the Hanshi festival, Nanju almost wants to ask if he's also the guy who named it. It makes zero sense. If you're gonna name a festival, at least put some effort into it. Nanju Festival would have been kinda cool, right? Or Festival, stay awake and earn bonus points of gratitude. Seriously, a festival where nobody has to do a thing, just chill out and rack up gratitude points, that would totally be a hit. Hanshi starts telling the origin of his festival, but it's a long, snooze fest of a story. The Hanshi festival's about gratitude, but the duke involved was so grateful, he ended up burning his helper to death. Summed up Hanshi style. The duke wasn't just thanking the guy, he was basically saying, thanks a bunch, now how about I turn you into BBQ? Great way to show gratitude. Might try that on Situzhang next time he tries to kill me while helping a client. All of a sudden, all the gods jump out of the calendar to celebrate the festival with Hanshi, even Chuxi. But Hanshi mentions the absence of Qingnam. Shi notices he's weak. Turns out since he's old, everyone's forgetting him. Nanju gets a panicked call to go back to that construction site where he got attacked before, and Hanshi insists on tagging along. Shi feels negative energy coming from a hole and starts digging. Out of nowhere, they're attacked by evil spirits crawling up from this hole. It'd be way funnier if they were popping out of a closet. Shi summons the Black Dragon Bone Sword and fights the spirits. Hanshi tries to help, but he's too weak. Seriously, who invited this tutorial level god? Suddenly, the spirits back off and make way for a giant evil snake. Evil spirits and now a demonic snake. This is like a D-list villain reunion. Nanju's sword acts on its own and attacks the snake. The snake, distracted by the sword, doesn't notice Nanju throwing a spell at it. When the snake dies, Nanju feels relieved. But it lasts like half a second. The snake comes back to life and Nanju's already thinking it's time to call 911. Or maybe an exorcist. But before it can get any worse, Chuxi shows up. He takes the snake out in a flash and chops its head off. Daddy's home. Hanshi collapses beside him and Nanju rushes to his aid. Chuxi explains he was summoned by the Shi's fear and that Hanshi is way too weak to fight at his side. Nanju's caught off guard when Chuxi attacks, and Hanshi protects him with a spell. Too weak, Hanshi falls down and wants to make one last request. All that's missing is for him to rub Nanju's forehead 3 times like a magic lamp, since apparently Nanju's turned into some kind of wish-granting genie now. Nanju wakes up all confused. That dream about Chuxi makes no sense. Is it some kind of sign, or is his brain just bored and messing with him? He wonders if even his own mind thinks his life is dull. He tries to ignore it, but something's off from the start. The day already feels weird. Hanshi thanks him for granting his request to stay one more day on Earth, even though it's no longer his festival. Now it's the Qingaming festival. He just wants to see the god he created and protected one last time. Nanju takes the god to the festival, and that new god shows up. He introduces himself as Qingaming. A kid yells out, asking if this god's some kind of movie character. Yeah, a blockbuster hit from, like, 1,000 years ago, and he hasn't changed outfits since. This guy's got a real smug, arrogant vibe. Qingaming snaps at the other god for being there. Shi steps in to defend Hanshi, who just wants to see the god he raised one last time. Didn't anyone teach these gods that you raise children to face the world, not keep them forever? Nanju cusses out Kingaming for not respecting the god who changed his diapers. That's basically what Kingaming Festival's about, right? Lighting candles and leaving flowers for the dead. Laishi's fed up with the drama. He heads straight to the cemetery because at least there, respecting the dead makes sense, just like voodoo rituals, I guess. Kingaming starts arguing with Hanshi, saying he doesn't need to be protected like a child anymore. He's strong now and doesn't need him. Suddenly, a fire caused by evil forces flares up, and Laishi tries a purification spell. But it's way too much fire. Laishi's sweating bullets, still not giving up. He tries another spell, but it's like tossing water on a gasoline fire. The flames just roar higher. He curses under his breath and tries a third time. Maybe third time's the charm? Laishi casts the enchantment again, and again it's useless. Kingaming steps in, throwing spells everywhere to help out. Hanshi tries to help, too, even though he's super weak. That feeling of weakness, always depending on Hanshi's protection, explodes inside Kingaming. Nanju collapses to the ground, exhausted, and realizes he actually saved everyone from the fire. But Hanshi notices that not everyone made it out. The fire's going haywire. Hanshi sees the flames rising and spreading. He can't ignore it anymore. He looks at Laishi. That spell failed again. Hanshi decides to try something else. Like, run away? But Hanshi stands on the front line. He tries to block the fire's advance, but the flames are too fierce. He feels the intense heat like it's about to peel off his skin. His body's almost done for, but his gaze stays steady. He looks at Kingaming, who's standing there, looking disconnected from it all. Hanshi knows what he has to do. He's done all he can. Hanshi looks at Kingaming one last time before exploding in divine light. The divine radiance from Hanshi is blinding, washing out everything around him. He bursts into a pure energy flash, a beam of light that dissolves the flames around him. The ground shakes, the explosions roar echoes like thunder. Nanju hits the floor, feeling the shockwave of heat that follows. Kingaming watches, and for the first time, something cracks inside his heart. He feels pain, something he never knew existed. Now he feels weak, useless. There's nothing left for him to do. Hanshi disappears in the explosion, wiping out the entire fire. The feeling of helplessness eats away at Kingaming. Frustration hits hard when he realizes that, despite all the power he gained, he couldn't protect the one god who always protected him. Kingaming feels this huge emptiness and can't shake the feeling he's failed. Losing Hanshi hurts so much he feels useless, like he blew his mission. Kingaming's pain and anger mix together, swirling into this emotional storm he doesn't know how to control. Nanju's tired of seeing so much chaos. Gods fighting, spirits attacking. What's worse is that this all seems normal. Nobody ever stops to think about what's really going on. Everyone just reacts. Nanju just wants peace, but deep down he knows he won't get it. He'll have to deal with more messes, more yelling, more anger. Another day of total mayhem. He wishes he could be anywhere else, but he can't. Nanju sees evil spirits around the god and gets attacked by Kingaming. Chuxi shows up and stops the god from hurting the Laishi. Kingaming gets rid of the spirits and just gets angrier. He whips up a rainstorm with his rage, like the weather is part of his loss. Kingaming tries to breathe, but the anger's still there, totally overpowering him. The pain of losing Hanshi is too much. He looks at the sky and feels the storm mirroring his anger. What he's feeling is stronger than anything around him. He feels like controlling the storm is the only thing he can do now. But even that's slipping away. He's lost, with no direction. These calendar gods are always ready to fight, but never learn how to handle their feelings. It's like they never have time to stop and think. They should get some therapy, or they'll just end up destroyed from the inside. Kingaming's anger has no end. Every raindrop is like a punch at the air. He's not just frustrated now, he's furious. Furious at Hanshi's death. Furious at the attacking spirits. Furious at himself for not being able to do anything. The rain won't stop. The sky keeps crying for him. Nobody understands. Nobody knows what he's feeling. Chuxi warns Nanju to take care of Kingaming, who's unstable after Hanshi's death. The Laishi steps out of his comfort zone to take care of others. He never asked for this responsibility. But here he is, playing caretaker. Weren't they supposed to be taking care of him, not the other way around? He never thought he'd end up like this, but here he is. Nanju tries to keep it all under control, but let's be real, he doesn't have any real control at all. It's like karma. Going from unemployed to being a babysitter for gods. Nanju wakes up with another explosion. He jumps out of bed, scared. But nobody asks if he's okay. He just wants to know why this keeps happening to him. Can't any god say good morning? He just wanted a normal day. But with gods and spirits around, nothing's ever normal. Kingaming explains that the evil spirits tried to influence him to attack the Laishi. Soon they'll try something even bigger. Nanju thinks he should never have gotten involved with these gods. Every day is a new drama. In the morning, another calendar god appears. Duanwu. Blonde on Monday, brunette on Tuesday, a redhead on Wednesday, and Thursday bring on the Japanese girl. Every day a different god, and it seems no one ever takes a break. It's always one mess after another. Nanju notices the rain's getting worse. He feels like he's sinking deeper into the chaos. He looks at the sky and wonders how long this will last. He just wanted a normal day, but he's stuck in this endless world. Each day's more complicated than the last. Damn Kingaming and this whole dragon boat festival thing. At this rate, Nanju's gonna need a Noah's Ark if it keeps raining like this. They head out to the festival, and the god says goodbye to Nanju to go look for some festival drink. Duanwu runs off toward the festival, trying to stay dry in this non-stop rain. Seriously? Dragon boat festival or monsoon season? When Duanwu sees evil spirits attacking a woman, he moves fast. He casts spells, but can't completely drive them off. The woman approaches. He feels tempted. He knows he shouldn't, but he can't resist. The internal struggle is intense. He tries to resist, but she won't let him. Duanwu feels the pressure building. He tries to stand firm, but the chaos just gets worse. He has no idea what to do now. There's nothing like being seduced by an evil spirit. And no, it's not the Christmas spirit. Situ Zhang gives Nanju a heads up about some snakebite deaths that happened in motels this month. Ghosting a girl is old news these days. It's all about striking like a snake. Duanwu comes home acting weird, but that's nothing new. If a god ever acts normal, Nanju's gonna find himself a girlfriend. Next day, Nanju and Duanwu check out the motel where those accidents happen. No sign of any evil spirit in that place. Weird. Nanju looks at Duanwu's neck and sees a bite mark. Duanwu explains it was from a woman he saved the night before. Oh, sure, who else rescues a woman only to get bitten for free? Nobody ever calls Nanju for heroics like that. Even after searching, no clues show up. The deaths have this vibe like a resentful serial killer. The guy seems out for revenge, but with a twist like he's channeling a venomous snake for that extra special sting. Kinda like a chef's special murder with a side of poison. As he investigates, Nanju's getting more frustrated at every dead end. He knows something bigger is at play, but it's all slipping through his fingers. His sense of justice pushes him onward, but a feeling of helplessness starts creeping in. Even without answers, he's determined to solve this. He knows the key is right in front of him, he just needs to pay closer attention. Heading home after a long, failed day isn't exactly as sweet as scoring a win, even a win with a broken arm. But things only get worse when Situ Zhang shows up and attacks Nanju. The lie she sees the same mark on his neck that he saw on the gods. No way. They're sharing the same girlfriend. Everything falls apart, and whoever's controlling Situ Zhang sends a message through him. Find them at the same building where it all began. Duanwu says the mastermind behind all this is the woman he rescued. Yeah, it's got that weird vibe like a priest who just saved Hitler. Situ Zhang is out cold, and Duanwu casts a spell to remove the poison. Nanju's gonna take down that witch. If she wants to play the top of the food chain, she should know snakes can choke on their own venom. Her every move has a purpose, every word an intention. What does she want from Nanju? The lie she confronts her, saying she has no right to kill people just to feed her snakes. The witch attacks him for implying her brood's lives matter less than the lives of some cheating men. Rule number 1, a mistress has no home, and she strikes. Nanju tries a clean hit, but his sword just slices empty air. Today, his target's playing hide and seek. But the woman's too strong and casts a spell on Nanju that keeps him from fighting back. The snake woman's magic swirls around him, and he keeps calm. Every word, every motion is an internal struggle. What is this? Magic 101 for beginners. Looks like I'll have to beef up your stash of healing potions. As Nanju slips into unconsciousness, he sees Sui Sui Ping and the woman, and some guy hidden under a cloak. What did they have planned for him? Duanwu tries to stop her from hurting Nanju even more. But she's no pushover. If a good woman is a tough one, that explains all those cheating men she offed. Chuxi shows up and attacks the snake woman. Duanwu warns he's got a bad feeling about this fight, but nobody listens. Chuxi sees something like an energy cell appear around the Laishi. He shoves him aside and ends up trapped himself. The god is attacked by evil spirits like he's at some 3D horror show. Every time he stabs one, his divine energy takes a hit. The more spirits he sends back to the beyond, the weaker he gets. It's like a never-ending debt. Duanwu tells Nanju there's nothing they can do. That cell is a matrix, an expanding trap that just keeps pulling in more nasty spirits. They must have a purpose, a reason for attacking. But what is it? Nanju won't give up. The lie she calls in the Black Dragon to handle this problem. And here it comes, making an entrance like a Hollywood blockbuster. Ear-splitting roar, destructive energy everywhere. It destroys the Matrix, the spirits vanish, and Nanju looks around. Great, but who's gonna clean up this mess? It's the Kixi Festival, which basically means another god crashing at his place. This time, it's a goddess who hates romance and can cut relationship ties like she's snipping old strings. Kixi is not someone you mess around with. She can just end any connection, yes, even the deepest ones, and turn someone's life into a game of random what-ifs. Hey, how much does she charge to cut Nanju's ties with poverty? Situ Zhang can't go a single day without showing up at your place and dragging in some problem or a new client. This time, it's a woman who's been waiting for her husband for 40 years. She's got that midlife crisis vibe mixed with a hint of leftover romance in her head. Nanju's in his, I have no patience for this mode but tries to stay polite. These stories always end with someone walking away empty-handed. And, as usual, he ends up playing the resident therapist. Even when Nanju doesn't want to be anyone's counselor, he's forced into these soap opera dramas. Doesn't matter how much he craves a little peace, his life's full of nonsense stories he's gotta listen to, break down, and serve up some advice that nobody's really gonna follow anyway. Nanju thinks how much easier it would be to just vanish from this get-together. Kixi watches it all with a certain indifference. She cuts the threads of fate as easily as people toss out old cables. Still, she promises to help the old lady, and in return, she asks for an object belonging to the man so she can find the red thread connecting them. Kixi leads the woman to a garden. The old lady finds the man sitting under a tree, but he doesn't recognize her and turns around to leave with another woman. He calls that other woman wife. This scene is epic. There she is, after 40 years of waiting, and he can't even lift his head to look at her. Yeah, the line moves on. What can you do? The goddess tells Nanju, men are men, and that's why I hate romance. The guy messed up. He was a jerk who doesn't screw up in 2019 anyway. Nanju watches, clueless about what to do. He's someone who always tries to help, but now he's out of ideas. He knows love stories don't always end the way people expect. He sees the woman persist, trying again to make the man remember the love she still feels. Nanju tries to walk her home. He can't leave the old lady alone, but he's already wondering if there's really anything anyone can do to rewrite someone's destiny. The old lady insists on seeing the goddess one last time. Nanju and the goddess lead the woman to her home using the red thread. Only the man is there. He freaks out when visitors show up and yells for his wife. The woman is right there, looking like she's been tossed into the beyond the grave friend zone. The man's other wife appears, and Kixi pulls a goddess of impossible truths moment, revealing that the man suffered a war injury and forgot everything about his original wife. The other woman is just a simple caretaker he's grown fond of. The man keeps insisting he doesn't know her and clutches a picture frame like it's the most sacred thing in the world. It's a photo of him and his real wife. The old lady isn't giving up on her husband. She picks up a flute he gave her before he vanished. The man recognizes the old tune he once taught his wife and finally calls her by her name, Yuixin. Nanju and the goddess leave. Their work is done. The lie she tells Kixi he felt the enchantment she cast on the old couple. Kixi admits it was a temporary spell meant to help, but deep down it'll just bring more pain. She says she did it to give the couple one last chance to see each other as new again and make up for lost time. Nanju asks the goddess if she's had some bad love experience to be acting this way. It was all epic adventures, promises of eternal love, and in the end, a hefty dose of betrayal. The man she dated was a lie she, and he proved his so-called proofs of love were just code for forgive me and everything will be fine. Who hasn't seen that routine, right? She cut that thread before he could pull the classic, I love you, but I'm still gonna cheat. Nanju tries to help her, asking if maybe the guy had troubles at the time. But seriously, what problem couldn't they have faced together if they'd always fought side by side? Today's the festival of ghosts and ancestors, a day when, according to tradition, the world of the living and the world of the dead are connected. Spirits roam freely, some to visit family, others to cause trouble. So it's no surprise when Boss Zero, that unlucky guy from the construction gig, calls Nanju for help. Zero is the kind of person who, if he flipped a coin, it would land in the wrong corner of the room every single time. When the lie she arrives at the house, the place looks more like a horror movie set than a simple home. During this festival, people usually make offerings to protect their homes and families. But Boss Zemo's place looks like it hasn't seen a single offering in the past 100 years. The man's bad luck is legendary, but this is next level. Suddenly, Nanju feels something. Not just a shiver, like the house itself is trying to warn him he's not alone. An evil spirit? Worse, a god. Zhang Yuan wastes no time on formalities. He looks straight at Nanju and explains the seriousness of the situation. A powerful evil spirit is loose, and not just any run-of-the-mill ghost. This is the kind of creature you wouldn't want to bump into even in your worst nightmares. It's a high-level evil spirit that feeds on life and fortune, spreading bad luck like it's going out of style. Nanju doesn't have time to ask why a second-rate construction boss attracted something like this. Zhang Yuan sets a trap to catch the spirit lurking around the house and manages to trap it. Zhang Yuan acts like he's done this a million times before. Nanju starts wondering how many times a god has to capture a spirit before he gets tired of the whole ordeal. He can't help but think about how this god must feel doing the same old job, over and over. Definitely not what deities sign up for. Nanju watches the demon closely, looking for any sign of weakness. But the creature shows none. The spirit moves unpredictably, making Nanju doubt for a moment if it's even a physical being at all. Nanju attacks the demon, but it slips away. Zhang Yuan explains that this demon is a Zhu Guang Jai Jai. He's different from anything Nanju's ever faced. He's invisible and deadly, feeding off people's vital energy. More than that, he spreads bad luck as his personal trademark. Crossing paths with him guarantees total ruin. He goes on to say that in the old days, these demons had a leader, but the Yellow Emperor killed him. Still, that guy's aura lingered in the world, so the Emperor's descendants sealed it away. Now it looks like the spirits are trying to free their boss. They definitely vote no on ending their twisted work schedule, whatever that means in spirit world politics. Nanju tries to understand why someone as unlucky as Boss Zero. The man's got no money, no influence. His only treasure is the curse that follows him around. The guy can't even afford a decent coffin if he drops dead from all that bad luck. What's he hiding? Why do these creatures want him? What started as a simple spirit hunt turns into an endless investigation. Nanju wonders when things will ever be straightforward, but he knows that's not going to happen. The next night, they return to the man's house and set a stronger trap. The evil spirit shows up, and Nanju strikes it with his sword. As he prepares for the next move, he feels the pressure rising. The clock seems louder than usual, like it's mocking him. It's all a distraction, but since the monster's got a brain the size of a peanut, it doesn't notice. The god's chains hold it down, and the spell takes effect. The demon writhes like someone who just stepped on a pile of Legos. The chains, like an invisible prison, tighten more and more. There's nowhere for the demon to run. Nanju hits it with the diary spell and weakens it further. Zhang Yuan delivers the final blow, a spell that rips through the air. The demon tries to defend itself, but it's game over. Nobody's got time for a drawn-out fight. Whatever that creature was after, it didn't get it. Still, something's off. Something bigger is at play, but Nanju can't figure out what. He wonders if this battle was really the end, or just the beginning of something more sinister. Each fight, each spell feels like an endless marathon. Nanju starts thinking maybe he just needs a good vacation. Suddenly Nanju is thrown back, like someone decided he should learn to fly just without wings. Nanju wakes up in a totally different place. Is this an asylum or heaven? Chuxi's right beside him, but doesn't give much explanation. A man who calls himself Jesus says the amulet is a longevity lock. That simple piece of metal holds more history and magic than Nanju can wrap his head around. It's not just a shield. It's a living testament to the faith and sacrifices of the Xuan Yuan clan. So that thing he thought was just a lucky charm, the amulet's shining now, like it's saying, "Told you so." Nanju got it from his parents. If his parents were part of that man's clan, he should know what happened to them. Why Nanju never knew them? Chuxi finally admits he knows the whole story. Nanju's parents died on a mission with the boy's grandmother for the god. She was warned he would be the next Lai Shi and was tasked to raise him as her own. He was always just a kid trying to figure out the world. But now Nanju finds himself at the center of something he never wanted to understand. The weight of being the next Lai Shi isn't just a responsibility, it's like a sentence he never chose. He knows he can't run away, but that doesn't mean he's ready to accept it. Nanju never understood why his parents were never around, or what really happened to them. Now it all makes sense, but it's way too late to feel any relief. The abandonment issues he carried inside just collapse. That's it? Just that? This is the explanation he waited years for. He always thought his loneliness was just part of life. But now he gets it was all because of choices that weren't his. The man goes on to explain that their clan has been hunted by evil spirits for a long time, hiding behind secret barriers. Jiza describes the clan as a shadow in a world of light, always hiding, always running. Nanju's parents were attacked the first time they ever left the hidden world to show their baby the New Year's festivities. They leave their hidden place, risk everything just to give their son one normal moment, and that's what destroys them. It's almost ironic. They didn't want to hide forever, they just wanted him to see the vast and dangerous world out there. I mean, who doesn't love a big life lesson delivered right in the middle of a suicidal mission with a god, right? With each passing moment, Nanju uncovers layer after layer of his own past, but each new piece of the puzzle weighs him down more than he can handle. Nanju thinks about everything he lost. He wonders what it would have been like growing up with them by his side. Every word from Jiza tears another strip off the layer of acceptance he spent years building. Nanju asks to be alone. Suddenly, Nanju steps out of the room and sees the place under attack. Jiza shouts that the shield is being bombarded by all kinds of evil spirits and an even stronger force. Jiza's words echo in Nanju's mind. The Xuanyuan clan is being hunted. And now he's part of that mess. The man yells for Nanju to hide. But Nanju's got a better idea, not hiding. He wasn't trained to sit in a smoky room filled with monsters, right? Instead, he grabs his sword and jumps into action, feeling about as strong as a batch of used-up batteries. But Nanju's stubborn. He won't give up. Each time he strikes a spirit, its dark energy scatters into the air, but they just keep coming, infinite and relentless. How long can he hold out? The sword in his hands feels heavier than anything he's ever lifted, but he won't back down. Not now. He can barely withstand the spirit's blows, but he keeps at it. Because, come on, he's not about to give a demon the satisfaction of winning without at least showing off a desperate warrior pose. He's so tired it feels like his strength might vanish at any second. But Nanju's not dropping that ball, not without fighting till the last second. Jiza yells that the spirits want the second part of the Qian Kun calendar. But the question is, where is it? Or better yet, where do the demons think it is? Nanju looks for Chuxi, but finds him possessed. He should have known. A quiet kid's always up to some mischief. The pain of seeing him like that is unbearable. He's the only friend Nanju's got right now, and now he has to fight him too. Nanju feels the floor vibrate under his feet as the spirits pound at the shield. He knows time's running out, but before Nanju can do anything, all the demons flee. The demons leave, and when they do, Chuxi's possession disappears with them. Jiza points out that the demons didn't get what they came for. His clan never had that leap year calendar they were after. Nanju feels a slight sense of relief, but not for long. He knows that even though the demons are gone for now, the threat's still lurking somewhere out there. The weight on his shoulders has never felt heavier. For the moment, though, the world's a bit quieter. A temporary break, maybe. The next day, Nanju heads home with a gift from Jiza, a book to help translate ancient languages. A day off. That's exactly what Nanju needs. But the moment he's home, he's already back at it, translating parts of the calendar to bring Hanshi back. As Nanju works, he dozes off right on top of the book. A few minutes later, he startles awake, ink smeared all over his forehead. If Hanshi doesn't return after all this effort, Nanju's personally gonna go fetch him. He wonders how many generations have tried to decode this calendar's secrets before him. He's closer than ever now, but he still feels something crucial is missing. Is the real power hidden in understanding the message behind the words, or in the actions he'll have to take? He gives up for the moment after swearing. He reads something like, "To summon the light, first thank the sun." The next day is the Festival of Lu, and a new god appears, Zhang Qiu, a swordsman. He tells Nanju that Chuxi's inside the calendar, recovering his divine powers. Nanju decides to show Zhang Qiu around town. As they walk, they run into Luo Bei, Nanju's neighbor. On the big city screen, a breaking news alert pops up about a drug criminal on the loose. Suddenly, Luo Bei rushes home worried about his mom. Nanju senses something's up and quickly follows him. Nanju saw the man surrounded by evil spirits. If the guy had any brains, he'd have asked for backup before turning into Ghost Chow. Evil spirits attack him. Nanju looks over at Zhang Qiu like, "Dude, do something, you're the swordsman, right?" Zhang Qiu attacks the man with this big, fancy move that looks totally epic until he nearly slips on the floor and almost face plants. He recovers and pretends it never happened. God of balance? Yeah, maybe not. The criminal is taken away. The kid explains that his dad was an anti-narcotics agent, and that's why the bad guy got locked up in the first place. But even after all that drama, his mom's only worried about the gift his dad always sent every festival. Even now, after his dad's gone, is she thinking the criminal stole that package too? The kid loses it and tosses the mooncakes his dad had sent straight into the trash. His mom freaks out, yelling at him for doing that. She says his dad always made those mooncakes himself because they were Luo Bei's favorite. Since he could never be there in person for the festival, he made sure a piece of himself was with him through those treats. Nanju picks up on the situation and says the boy's father was a hero who saved countless families. The dad wasn't around physically, but he sacrificed himself for others. That's something to admire. After hearing that, Liu Obey, like someone with absolute pride, picks a mooncake out of the trash, blows off the dust, and stuffs it in his mouth like it's no big deal. His mom grabs one too. Like, if he's eating it, I'm eating it. Because life's about choices, and sometimes about eating mooncakes that taste like missing someone. By dusk, it's time for the ceremony. Nanju watches everyone's collective effort to bring Hanshi back. He notices how every action, every spell, demands sacrifice. It's not just magic and brute force, every gesture and word carries the pain and hope of all involved. Nanju reflects on the true nature of sacrifice. It's not always about grand gestures, but about the small choices we make and how much we give for something bigger than ourselves. The lie she recites the calendar's enchantment, and Hanshi's light appears. But it's not him fully, just the beginning. Everyone's waiting around, like they're in line for some supernatural Black Friday sale. The lie she explains the spell was meant to awaken Hanshi's divine soul, which had been sacrificed. He'll only truly return at the next Hanshi festival, when his memory is honored once again. After the ceremony, Nanju and the others celebrate Hanshi's partial return with simple but deep joy. They know they're still far from finishing their journey, but they're happy to be together in that moment. Hope is reborn in their hearts. Nanju feels he's on the right track. It's morning, and what better way to start the day than helping your boss, the master of chaos, the tireless and unlucky Xiao. Sounds like a blast, right? Even the little things, like coffee and morning prep, feel hard to stomach. Nanju's gut is basically telling him, buckle up, today is gonna be rough. To this day, he still doesn't understand how he hasn't dropped dead from all the stress this man causes him. There's a disaster about to hit this guy's life, and Nanju suggests climbing the mountain for good luck. The tradition of the Double Nine Festival is simple. Climb a mountain, drive away evil spirits, and chase off dirt. But of course, for Nanju, easy is never an option. For him, climbing the mountain with Zero feels more like scaling Mount Everest with less oxygen and more spiritual trouble. Zero keeps making excuses not to finish the climb, like he forgot the mountain won't climb itself. Nanju returns from his mission with Zero, but he gets a shiver down his spine on the way back. When he arrives at Zero's house, he's shocked to see Zero's father being attacked by evil spirits. Each spirit seems stronger than the last. Nanju's not just fighting for the man's life, he's fighting to stay sane. Climbing the mountain didn't work out. Maybe tossing the guy down from it would have been more effective. So much bad luck in one person. The god Jingyong shows up and helps Nanju wipe out the evil spirits. Now the lie she assures Zero isn't just some unlucky dude. He's a liar who is hiding something. Zizo gives up on the cover-up. He admits that a long time ago, he dug up a Suizing artifact that promised prosperity, but ever since, it's only brought disaster to his life. Nanju's heard plenty of Zero's excuses, but none as wild as this cursed artifact story. Who actually digs up a cursed relic and expects to get lucky from it? The worst part is Zero only now realizes how royally he messed up. Oh, so that's it. You didn't say anything before because you thought it'd be fun to play hide and seek with demons. Of course, Zito didn't have the guts to mention it before. Who wouldn't love hiding a powerful spiritual artifact, right? And guess who's after it now? Evil spirits, obviously. The god explains that the artifact's packed with centuries of spiritual power, and that's why the evil spirits want it so badly. They head to the shrine where the man hid the Suizing. Because, hiding a demon-attracting object where your ancestors rest was definitely the best idea ever. Sure, no big deal, just the place where the spirits want to set up shop. Suddenly, the shrine catches fire. A demonic spirit named Sanzai appears and doesn't show up empty-handed. He brings fire and destruction, like a real welcome to hell calling card. The surrounding evil spirits cheer at his arrival, and the shrine's flames grow even fiercer. Nanju barely has time to register what's happening before he's hurled away by the wave of destructive energy Sanzai unleashes. The god tries to shield him, but gets knocked down by the demon's power. Out of nowhere, Chuxi appears. Perfect timing, as always, but hey, maybe he could have arrived before things got this toasty and demon-flavored. But things get worse when Chuxi gets possessed by the evil spirits and heads straight into the blazing shrine. Then Chuxi eats the Suizing like it's a snack. Because why not? The day's already gone from save the world to low-budget horror flick in about 5 minutes. The effect is immediate. Chuxi, who seemed like an ally, now turns into the walking nightmare everyone hoped to avoid. The worst part? Nanju can't believe how the day went from a simple mission to a full-on apocalypse in mere minutes. Nanju can't believe his eyes. The demon boss is now in Chuxi's body. The painting of the god that was rescued from the Matrix appears in the demon-possessed Chuxie's hands, and he tears it apart. Nanju tries to react, but his body isn't responding the same way anymore. This fight's been going on too long, and he's exhausted. The weight of choices and responsibility feels heavier than any blow he can land. He looks around and realizes the battle isn't just against these spirits, but against destiny itself. Chuxie turns into something else, pure corruption, a monster wearing a god's body. The god of ghosts steps in, shielding Nanju so he can escape. The gods gather as if they're holding an emergency meeting, but it looks more like a chaotic daycare. One's arguing strategy, another's trying to understand why someone would snack on the suising, and a third is just dozing off in the middle of the crisis. Operation Babysit is officially a mess. Nanju tells the gods he had a vision of Chuxie being created by the Yellow Emperor, but it wasn't exactly Chuxie. The Emperor called him Roman 11, and his soul was sealed in that painting now destroyed. King Eming explains all the attacks were to corrupt Chuxie with dark energy. He was the bait. The evil spirit found the suising, the final key to possess his body. Roman 11 was always inside Chuxie, and now he's more than just a god. He's corruption in its purest form. King Eming's explanation hits like a punch to the gut. It's like finding out your favorite hero was actually the villain all along. That charming smile? A lie. Those heroic deeds? Just bait for disaster. But if Roman 11 is using Chuxie's body, where is the real Chuxie? Suddenly, it starts to rain, and not normal rain. Each drop carries a darkness that seeps into people, twisting them into something unrecognizable. It's like the sky is crying, and its tears condemn humanity. This rain spreads darkness instead of washing it away. Humans collapse one by one, possessed by evil spirits, turning everything to chaos. It's like watching a zombie apocalypse, only worse. Within minutes, ordinary folks morph into nightmares straight out of someone's darkest dream. And of course, there's always that one person trying to snap a selfie with the apocalypse in the background. Nanju feels a crushing weight in his chest, like the whole world's balancing on his shoulders. For the first time, he wonders if he can carry it all. He tries not to fall apart, but the truth is he's terrified. He's never felt so small against something so huge. But this isn't the end. Nanju and the gods won't give up. He tries to keep up a leader's front, but his face shows pure terror. Still, he pushes forward because giving up isn't an option. Even though, deep down, he'd love to just lie down and pretend he's a rock. The gods split up to help Nanju and try to clear the city. The fight is brutal, as if humans have become zombies. The gods aren't just fighting, they're surviving. Every strike, every move, is an act of resistance against something seemingly unbeatable. Nanju realizes that even these divine beings are as vulnerable as he is. The streets are flooded with possessed bodies moving as if controlled by an invisible hand. One of the gods tries using magic to repel the spirits, but the darkness just swallows it up like it never existed. The god looks at the sky as if asking for an explanation. Not even a tiny bit of divine backup. It's all a cruel joke, a cosmic prank with no punchline. This is an invisible war against an entity that's not just physical but lurking in every soul it touches. The gods aren't just facing a physical battle. Their very essence is being tested. Nanju tries to keep the humans under control, but his hope is slipping. He runs through the streets, each step heavier, like wading through invisible chains. The eyes of each possessed person are empty, as if their human selves were erased and replaced with pure evil. Kixie, the goddess, is fighting when she hears a familiar sound too familiar. She sees humans controlled by a flute's melody. The sound tugs at her memory, like hearing a voice you lost long ago. But all she sees is a demonic puppet wearing the face of someone she loved. It looks like Laishi, but it's not him. Something breaks inside her as she realizes the love of her life is now just a hollow shell controlled by demons. He attacks her, leaving a cut on her body. What hurts more isn't the blade, it's the fact she can still see traces of the man she loved in every move, as if he's trapped inside himself, trying to escape. Kixie's not just fighting an evil spirit now. She's battling her own pain, her loss, and the reality that the love of her life has been twisted into a stranger. As she fights, Kixie remembers everything she was. Every moment together, every promise, every smile. Now all of it's being weaponized against her. Each of her blows is like a silent scream of despair, knowing he'll never return. But she won't let his memory be tarnished, not like this. Even if she wins, the scars of this battle won't fade. Not just from their bodies, but from their souls. Nanju's still holding on to some confidence that they'll pull through. But that confidence vanishes the moment he sees Roman 11 with some of the gods among them, the smaller ones, the calendar kids, and Huazao. The demon demands he choose the lives of his godly friends or the lives of mortals. Right then, Zero shows up attacking Nanju like a wannabe superhero who flunked training. A quick kick fixes that, but Nanju can't help wondering if he should start charging for these impromptu self-defense lessons. The lie she tries to get to the gods, but Roman 11 destroys Huazao to prove he means business. The calendar kids try to protect themselves, but those tiny hands can't do much. Every hit Roman 11 lands snuffs out another little spark of hope. It's like watching a brutality show no one asked for. Situzhang doesn't even have time to grieve. He shows up and throws himself into the fray. This is his buddy, Situzhang, who's always been there, whether it was stirring up trouble or helping them get out of it. The lie she won't give up. He fights through his own weakness. Roman 11 ramps up the horror by killing 2 more gods, torturing Nanju with every loss. The calendar kids are too weak to fight back. Roman 11 treats them like disposable toys, crushing any shred of hope Nanju had left. Nanju feels the weight of the choice, save his friends or protect the mortals. How do you pick when either way you lose? It's like asking which arm you'd rather lose. Nanju wants to stop and honor his friends, but Roman 11 doesn't allow even a second to breathe. It's a dance of chaos and destruction, and Nanju's the only one still trying to waltz. Is Nanju strong enough to do what needs to be done? Spoiler, he doesn't have a choice. A few of the remaining gods join Nanju. He's not alone. As they gather around him, Nanju sees everyone's exhausted and shaken like a group of students after cramming all night for final exams. If this is divine strength, then yeah, the world's pretty screwed. Kixi is attacked by Sanzai, but the swordsman god steps in to protect her. The demon tosses him aside like a ragdoll. Sanzai moves forward like a runaway tank, showing no mercy. It's like the gods are facing a storm that never stops growing. Kixi can't stand to see her friend sacrifice himself for her. She charges at the demon, fueled by vengeance for her beloved who was possessed and killed by these monsters, but the demon grabs her effortlessly. He's caught off guard when Kixi traps him in her red thread, crushing him against it. She collapses to the ground, defeated, but her revenge is complete. That's all that matters. Zhang Yuan dies protecting the Laishi. Nanju realizes each god is more than just a source of power. Each one is a story, courage, sacrifice, and now they're disappearing like candles in a storm wind. They fall one by one, leaving Nanju surrounded by the wreckage of the battlefield. What now? What's left when everything's already destroyed? Nanju's weak, trying to defend himself, but he's too slow. A spirit teleports him into the past, chaining him in place. The Laishi is forced to relive his own memories. He doesn't want to be here. He never asked for this trip down memory lane, but fate's got it out for him. Like an old movie reel, it all repeats, but this time, the hero's got zero control. Roman 11 parades these memories of pain like a trophy. Every massacre, every betrayal, is his justification. This isn't just cruelty, it's carefully nurtured vengeance. Suddenly, Nanju's unconscious mind drags him into a dark place, delivering a simple warning. Activate the leap year calendar. When Nanju wakes from his blackout and looks at the evil spirit, he knows exactly where the calendar is. The demon strikes at his heart, but the lie she holds on. He just needs to say the words. Roman 11 smiles, sure Nanju won't hold out. But that grin fades fast when the lie she starts chanting the spell words like a serenade not for the demon, but for his last shot at saving the world. Roman 11 can't believe what he's hearing. He panics as the leap year calendar's power binds him once again. The Yellow Emperor appears and eliminates Zai's soul. This time, he's not coming back. The Yellow Emperor doesn't hesitate. He gives it all, even his own son. The divine light is so intense it cuts across time and space. There's no coming back for him, and he knew that from the start. The evil spirits that possessed humans are driven out by the released divine energy. Nanju looks around at what's left. Fallen friends, a ruined city, and they're stuck with the Suizing like it's a burden. Is this victory? Maybe. But there's no feeling of triumph here. Nanju realizes there's no victory without loss. In the end, he wonders if it'll ever be worth it. After the war, Nanju hands over the Suizing to the gods for safekeeping. The Luan festival ceremony succeeded and Hanshi finally reappears, this time strong. In the end, it was all orchestrated by the Yellow Emperor when he sacrificed his son and activated the lunar leap year calendar. But as Nanju looks up at the sky, he wishes Chuxi were here with them. Almost as if the gods heard him, a shooting star blazes overhead. If that's a sign of good luck, here's hoping it applies retroactively. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.